Okay. So, for those of you
Welcome.
joining us today, we are Chaos to Calm. I am Candice, and this is Siobhan.
I'm
Today, we're joined by Marti Ouellette, who is a transformation mindset coach. I got to meet Marti a year ago at an amazing conference, Amplify Your Impact at Casino Windsor. But Marti came all the way from Phoenix, Arizona to join us. And today, she's going to talk about how she kind of shifted from being a corporate mogul to trusting your intuition, aligning with source and becoming something maybe a little bit unexpected. So welcome, Marti, to the
Oh,
Keynote
thank you for having
Conversations.
me.
Yay.
Hey, so you're the name of your show, Chaos to Calm. Oh,
Hmm.
with
that's so
Candace and
bizarre.
Siobhan.
Yeah, and I think I'm the
Oh,
chaos and Siobhan's the calm. It seemed to work perfectly. We've got the infinity sign as our symbol because that's what life is. It's ups and downs and it's endless,
yes.
right?
Balance.
And I
Yes.
love the chaos. Like
Yeah.
I
Good.
love the chaos.
You
I
have
think
to.
that's where the juice is, right? Oh, this is so awesome.
Embrace the magic, the chaos that leads to the calm and then back to the chaos. And if you don't have, I don't think you can ever appreciate the calm without all the chaos.
Yeah.
I think you need a little bit of both.
The roller coaster of life.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
tell us a
just was
little bit
thinking
some of
the
the
landing.
chaos in your actually I just came up with that. I'm gonna hashtag the shit out of that one. So tell us a little bit about your chaos to calm and a bit about your journey.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a few years ago, life was chaos, right? As a corporate trainer,
Mhm.
um, uh, process improvement, helping businesses get organized. And as you're saying that, I'm thinking, yeah, I was really speaking into taking chaos to calm, right? Organizing things, getting things in pretty little boxes, processes, so that people could go, oh, this is so bizarre that this is what we're talking about. So that people could go through their day checking the box,
Mm.
right? Which is boring. Look at the
Yep.
look on your
Yep.
face that just
Yep.
came up,
Yeah.
right? Which is totally boring. And that's how I was feeling like, oh my God, is this what I'm going to do every day for the next 30, 40 years? Blah.
Yeah.
And I was reading this book, Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yeses.
I love
And I was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm going to do a year of yeses. And a series of events occurred. Somebody recommended to me that hey, are you going to and I can't remember what it was called, Celebration of Life event in Scottsdale. And I was like, I guess I have to say yes. And I bought a ticket and I went. I didn't know anybody that was there. While I was there, a friend of mine passed away. She said she was sick and she kind of went off and, we were checking on her. She'd actually been diagnosed with lung cancer and didn't want to tell anybody, didn't want anybody worrying about her. And so between diagnosis and passing away, it was like 8 weeks.
that.
Wow.
And
Oh,
I was
wow.
at this celebration of life event, and the speakers were Martha Beck and Elizabeth Gilbert. And I was
Wow.
crushed. I just got this phone call and I was crushed. And everybody's so happy at this celebration of life event. I wanted to hide. So I ran into the back of the hotel. I was trying to get to my room and I ended up in a service elevator. And I don't even remember where I was going. And the door started to close and somebody yells, hold the door. So I hold the door and in walks Elizabeth Gilbert and Martha Beck.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there like bawling my eyes out. And Elizabeth grabs me. She's like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just, I'm okay. Like, I didn't want to bother these people. Who am I? So anyway, I eventually shared with her what had happened. And she said, so what got you here? There's something the universe is trying to tell you. You're at the celebration of life event and you lost a friend. So, and I was like, oh, I read Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yeses, and this is how I got here. And she said, I want you to say yes. I want you to continue to say yes. Oh, it makes me emotional. And she says, I want you to say yes to the very next things that presented to you. And the next thing was a
Oh.
transformation training. And so I did the training, and my life has been a yes ever since. I say yes, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how chaotic, it's just been a yes. Going to Canada to Jessica's event, I just say yes. I figure it out later. Before I was complete planner, got to make sure all the ducks are in a row and everything's going to work out. I just say yes. So I'm also a court appointed special advocate for kids in foster care.
Really?
So
Wow.
kids that are in foster care, they're not living with me,
Right.
but they're in foster care. CASAs are assigned to the most difficult cases. So I've had some really difficult cases. My current one is a 14-year-old. She was living on the streets. The more I say yes, so we're source, right? We're
Yes.
source. The more I say yes in my life, the more she is saying yes to her.
I just got
I
goosebumps.
I was just about to say, I'm covered in goosebumps.
Yeah.
I'm covered in goosebumps. First of all, I just want to say, Marty, that I am so excited. And I didn't know what the topic would be. I was saying to you earlier that, there's one thing about structure and there's another thing about this is a candid conversation and let's just see where it goes. What you're talking about today is exactly what I need to hear today. And I know that our listeners they're gonna just tune in and go, what the hell? Just say yes. Like, I don't know what your lesson was going to be at the end because we want everyone to, leave a tidbit of advice behind, but I've already gotten my lesson. Just say
Yeah.
yes. But I have a question for you.
Mhm.
I'm wondering, at the beginning, you talked about being in corporate and that it was boring. It was like the checking of the boxes. So how did you transition out of that? How did you say yes to doing something more?
I just took a leap. I just took a leap. So when I was in corporate, I was a consultant versus
Mm.
coach. And I could say, here's what we get to do next, or let's organize it this way. I didn't have the language or the mindset to really get underneath why that culture in that company was that way.
Yes.
Right. And so what I've learned through transformation is really getting under it. Like, what's driving this? What's the story they're telling themselves? And this is what I work with clients on. What's the story you're telling yourself about yourself in this moment? So when I had a gentleman this morning I was talking to, he says he wasn't connected with his vision. So when you work in corporate, what was missing was really connecting with their vision. What is their vision? Not the bottom line. Like, what is that individual executive's vision? What does he want to be to his employee? Who does he want to be? Like, who do the employees want to be to their family, to the company? It's all about a way of being, not doing. So the gentleman I was talking with this morning, he's like, I said, what's your vision? And he says, I want a partner and I want to be happy and I want to be traveling and I want to be blah, 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 which notice, like, everything is a telltale sign. It's outside of him.
Yeah.
He's reaching out here with his hands. It's outside of him. Happiness and joy comes from within. So what does the feeling of having the partner, having the restaurant, having the boat, doing the travel, what feeling does that bring to you? And we dug under it and dug under it. He wants to feel joy. So what I ask people all the time is, what's the feeling you want to have when your feet hit the ground in the morning? Right? And he's joy. It's just like,
Yeah.
you see the change in his face, joy. So what you want to have, create in the world. If I want to experience joy, I'm going to come in here and create joy for you two today. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm creating it, I get to be it.
Yeah.
So in corporate, the transition from corporate was, that's a dinosaur. I wasn't experiencing joy with that dinosaur. So I had to have faith that what I was doing, creating joy in the world, could happen anywhere. I just had to have faith. It's taking the
Wow.
leap.
That is,
Candace and
it's,
I are
yeah.
probably both laughing because yesterday we did a happiness webinar and went over these same kinds of topics. Again, that feeling, that what does happiness present in your body? How does it feel? And then how do you create more of it? And I think that's such a powerful lesson as well, as not seeking it out here and bigger and I want and I want.
So here's the difference. If you look at David Hawking's scales of consciousness,
Mhm.
happiness is not on there. Happiness is conditionary. It's conditional. Something has to happen in order for me to be happy.
Yeah.
Joy comes from within. So
I love that.
Like that.
I love happiness. Everybody's happy, but if you listen, some people will attach happiness to a activity or a thing or a person or something they're doing. You can just be joy. And I love that you guys are talking about happiness. So I did a workshop. I have a workshop that I do. We got to figure out how to do this. It's called Happiness is a Ham Sandwich.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
because my father was um, eh, abusive, verbally abusive. And I don't want to make him sound like a horrible person, but he was verbally abusive. But as the oldest daughter with 4 brothers, I would say, Dad, what can I get you to make you feel happy? And he would say, ham sandwich. And I would make these beautiful, gorgeous, I would study how to make ham sandwiches. I would ask other people, what's a great ham sandwich, to make it for him. So, and then the whole workshop is about discovering your joy and creating your joy mantra that you can say every morning to bring you into that vibration.
Oh, I love it so much. And even when you were talking about what you do with business leaders today, about digging deeper and finding out what's your why, which is something that Siobhan and I do as well.
Yes.
And because I think when we lose track of what our why is, what's our driving force, what's underneath it all, then nothing really is meaningful, and we're always searching for more. So I love that you're working with individuals, businesses to help them dig deeper, because it does create a ripple effect,
Yeah.
right? Has an impact on other things.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, going back to taking a leap, just saying yes, how could you recommend or encourage people to take that leap of faith? Because I think what's keeping people from doing that, myself included, is fear. Fear, whatever is underneath the fear. But what do you think about that?
There's always going to be fear. Fear never goes away. So is this a PG show?
No.
I don't know. I've already cussed once, so
I usually drink a lot of wine and swear like a sailor. So
It's, oh, what the fuck? Go for it anyway.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it really is. So let me share something. We were talking about taking the leap.
Yes.
Last Tuesday was full moon.
Mhm.
I do full moon ceremonies, and I'll admit I'm intermittent with them, right? Like if I'm like, if it's usually if something's going on, I'm like, oh, it's a full moon, I got to do it. You guys ever do full moon ceremonies?
Oh yeah.
we do.
All right.
Yeah.
So my full moon ceremony, I get to write down what I want to release and burn it, release it to the universe. And then I get to write my vision and place it out in the light, right? All my stones are out there, my moon water that I create, everything. And I go to write my vision and I'm like, I'm having a hard time writing it. I'm really having a hard time writing it. And I'm not clear on it, and I'm thinking about it, and it dawns on me that my vision is still in the place of I know absolutely that I can accomplish it.
Mm.
Scares the shit out of me and makes me want to vomit. Right? So I'm like, oh fuck. Like, oh, I'm still in this space, right? I'm still like rolling. So what we talk about in transformation is am I allowing my history to roll into the present, or am pulling my vision from the future into the now? And I realized I was still allowing my history to roll into the moment. So I wrote out my vision, maybe wanted to throw up. And the mindset here, what I'm thinking about in this moment is, it can't hurt, right? I'll just write this big vision, put it in the moonlight. So I did that. A couple of days later, I was sitting at my computer. My computer had done an upgrade. My computer, and I went to look for some files, and they were gone. So I bought this computer when I made that decision to step in corporate. So this was my personal business. It wiped everything I've created in the last 2 years.
Oh,
It's gone.
oh, I would throw up.
It was gone. I sat here, I bawled, I cried. I was sat 12 hours on the phone with Apple support trying to figure out where it happened. They said, did you back it up? I went in this whole conversation about the cloud and isn't that backed up and blah, blah, blah. I know you need to have an external hard drive. And so the last guy, he was so nice. He was like, I don't know how to tell you this. It's gone. So I went in the tub and cried and cried and cried. And then I was like, all right, I know transformation. This is an opportunity. There's something I'm going to say, 6 months from now, a year from now, whatever, that I'm going to say, this is a pivotal moment. What is it? And then it dawned on me. I asked the universe to do this to me. Say no more of the past, no more history. It's here forward. I get to create something new. I have what I need here. I don't need all that old stuff I was recreating from my past to put into my future.
Yep.
Isn't
Well,
it
that's still,
funny
I
when you
hear
get
you
what
say,
you, yeah,
yeah, you
Get
said
what you
that
asked
before.
for. So here,
yeah.
let me
Like,
share this. So you guys ever do intuitive painting?
I have not.
No,
All right. So I'm going to
I have
invite you
friends who
to.
do workshops on it, but yes, I've not done it.
Have you ever heard of cosmic smash booking?
no.
Oh,
All right. You absolutely get to do it, especially you, Candice, as a teacher. So it's praying your vision. It's really connecting with source, right? You're setting an intention and you're expressing your desires on the paper before you paint. And then when you're connected with source, you paint. And it's a beautiful process. And I'm a real big critic that I don't want to like, oh, I got to put that there. I got to put that there. I would never go paint without planning it. Like I got to know what I'm going to paint. So here's what came out of the process.
Oh, wow.
What do you see?
I see the universe.
The first thing that came to my mind was a blue whale. I don't know why. I'm curious about the meaning of blue whale.
I
Just
see an eye.
infinite. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I don't know. It's beautiful.
So know that everybody sees something different, and it's
Yeah.
wonderful to ask people what they see. So for me, this is the
Yeah.
eye of transformation, and these are all souls looking
Oh,
to find themselves. Right? They're
oh, I
looking.
love
I am
that.
like so giddy right now with like just, oh my goodness. I love it.
They're
That is
looking to be
beautiful.
transformed. They're looking to know that they matter, which is what I do.
Yeah.
Let people know they matter. A whale, I love how you said a whale. A whale. So for me, a whale's, so this is not intentional. There's
Right.
no decision in my head what to paint. The whale is a deep soul for me. That's what I see when you look into a whale's eye, a deep soul. Somebody said, and these are bubbles. Like
Mm.
the deep soul is breathing life
Oh,
into these.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
it is so cool. So amazingly beautiful. I'm
This is a
definitely, I'm
yes.
thinking about, I've got
Yes.
my big journal here, and when I created my current me and future me, and I think I'm going to turn the page. And even today, I think I'm going to do some of that. What did you call that? Intuitive
It's called,
painting?
there's a woman, so a friend of mine teaches this process. It's called cosmic smash booking.
Cosmic
cosmic
smashbooking.
smash
So
booking.
it's intuitive art playing.
Wow.
So we
So
encourage all of our listeners to go Cosmic Smashbook and post whatever it is that you created. Show us, share on the page because that is phenomenal. And I love that there's so much that you can interpret from that. So
Yeah.
whether it's bubbles or it's souls or however, like there's just, and that also speaks to the fact that we all show up differently. Our transformation looks a little bit different. We see things differently, but the fact that you bring that all together for people and how they find that alignment.
So what I love what you said is about it's different for everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
think about your vision, your dreams comes differently for everybody. So I haven't painted since I was a kid. Being a yes got me into it, but it gave my muse a way, a language to express what I was missing. Like I wasn't seeing myself
Mm-hmm.
as an intuitive transformation mindset coach, right? And the more I paint, the more my muse is yelling at me and saying, here's where you get to go. Like, here's what you get to create. So having different, like, we started off by talking about being in touch with source.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people, it's meditating. For some people, it's yoga. I mean, find something, keep going, keep trying, be a yes to everything. Don't be closed off about it.
So is that what you would say would be the piece of advice that you'd like to leave people with today? That saying yes, or what would be the most important message you want us to know?
Oh,
Like we can hear you now. There you go.
okay.
Funny, right at that
Say
moment, did you hear what I said?
saying yes. And so Here, this little voice just said to me, lots of my friends don't say yes because it's uncomfortable. It doesn't fit their schedule. I don't have the paints, or, I don't have the time. Get uncomfortable. Growth, change, transformation doesn't occur from the easy boy recliner,
Yes.
right? That's what
That's
the
going to be
yes
the
is
quote we
about.
pull out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growth doesn't come from an easy boy recliner, but that's such a beautiful message to share with people because, I think sometimes people are looking for that elusive, what's the pill that will make me happy? What's the
Yes.
thing that will make my health better, my mental state better? And then we have, this society, this culture that says, great, here you go. Big Pharma says this will do this and this will do this. But it's like you said, there is no easy boy recliner to being able to tap into what makes you what's your joy. And I love that distinction between joy and happiness. And I've never considered it that way, but I suppose like happiness is this elusive thing and it can be outside of yourself, but creating that joy within and teaching people and helping them transform so that they get to live and embody that's beautiful.
Yeah, so people say, I'll be happy when there's X number of dollars in my bank account, right? But you say, I'll be joy when there's X number of dollars in my bank account? No, just be joy.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Just be joy.
Yeah, just be joy, and the money in the bank account will come.
Yeah.
Because if you're being in the moment.
You said it's about being and not doing. It's not the doing that's going to bring you there.
We are
so
human
Marti,
beings, not human doers.
Exactly. I love that. I've seen that once before. Yeah. Okay, so I have a very important question. Marti, would you rather be at home with family and friends having comfort food, or would you rather be out with important people at a fancy restaurant? I know, because both could be absolutely fun and intriguing.
Question. So here's what I'd rather be. I'd rather be with family, but that's comfort.
Oh,
right? That's comfort. Being with important. So the key word for me is important, because to me, nobody's more important than anybody else.
Right.
So the fact that they're in that bucket of important people means to me, and this is judgment, and I hate it when I come from judgment, is here's an opportunity to transform the world.
Yeah.
These people feel above somebody else. So
I love that outlook. I love it. Marti Ouellette, thank you so much for joining us for a candid conversation today. We will be sharing with our viewers and listeners more information on how they can get in touch with you. And we hope that you'll join us again sometime, because I'm sure we're going to have many more opportunities for candid conversations with you.
Awesome. I can't wait. Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Take care.
Next time we'll share our paintings with everybody. We'll all come back. Thanks, Marti.
Take care, guys. Bye.
All right. Thank you.